Many people know that if you just learn proper punching technique, you'll be able to punch way harder than you did before. But not too many people know it's the exact same thing when it comes to certain lifts. If you just learned a proper bench pressing technique, you'll be able to bench more with the same amount of strength that you already have. And people usually think of the bench press as kind of a meatheadish exercise, but it's actually a very technical lift and there's a lot of science that goes into it. And when I was bulking up for football, I went deep into the strength and powerlifting rabbit hole. And I was actually able to bench 235 pounds at 145 pounds. So today I'm just going to show you three really easy technical cues that you could do that will instantly increase your bench press. Alright, so the first tip is just to squeeze the bar hard. And I'm talking to the point where your forearms might be a little bit sore after your workout. And that's for a couple of reasons, but the main reason is just to create tension in your body. When you do this, everything will just feel more stable. So, yeah, like this. So instead of having like a loose grip with the bar and kind of like wobbly, just make sure it's tight. And you see, even just squeezing it tight makes my wrists more straight. And that tip will help out a lot. And this is the reason why that a lot of people I follow don't like the suicide grip. If you don't know, the suicide grip is where instead of gripping it like this, you grip it like this. So with the suicide grip, you're not able to squeeze the bar as hard because your thumb accounts for a lot of your gripping strength. And also, if you get more advanced and more into the rabbit hole of bench press technique, you'll actually learn that you're supposed to kind of break the bar to engage your lats more. So yeah, that's just another reason why this, and also another reason people have actually died by dropping the bar on their neck. So yeah, that's just another reason to maybe keep the thumb there. Alright, the second tip is just to use your legs. This might sound a little bit weird, but it's actually weird to think of the bench press as a full body movement. At least when you're going for strength. It's a little bit different if you're a bodybuilder, but when you want to push as much weight as possible, you gotta use your whole body. You might be a little bit confused on how you do this, but this is actually something I learned from Dave Tate. He's a famous powerlifting coach, or a well-known powerlifting coach. But yeah, you want to pretend you're trying to push yourself up the bench when you use your legs. But how you do that is you pretend you're bench pressing in mud. So if the floor is mud, you can't just slide back. You have to push your feet down and then forward. And that locks your body into place and yeah, helps you use your legs. So my first point, I'll squeeze hard and yeah, push down and back and just, yeah, the bar felt light before, but when I'm using my legs, it basically feels like nothing. Alright, the third and final tip is just to pull your shoulder blades down and back. And I'll show you what this means right now. So this just makes a better base when you're benching. So what you do is just, you see my shoulder blades, you pull them back and then down. And the way I learned was just to pretend there's a grape in the middle of your back and you want to squeeze the grape with your shoulder blades. So yeah, back and down, and that'll just make a really good base when you're bench pressing. Alright, so just to recap the three really easy things you could do to instantly increase your bench. Just make sure you squeeze the bar hard with the thumb. You pull your shoulders back and then down, and you use your legs by pushing it down and then forward. So boom. And yeah, the bar literally feels like nothing. I hope these help. So those are just three really easy technical cues on the bench press you could start doing. Like I said, you could go down a whole rabbit hole. This was just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to bench pressing technique. I'll link some other resources in the description below. And I have another video on things you could do to increase your bench press, which you could check out if you're interested. And if you're new here, my goal is to help athletes and martial artists out with their goals. So subscribe if you think this channel could help you. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.